My name is Jennifer Williams. I work as a biochemist in the Research and Development Department at a well-known pharmaceutical company in San Francisco. My days are often long, filled with experiments, lab reports, and endless meetings, yet I find deep satisfaction in the work. Every breakthrough, even the smallest one, feels like a step toward making life better for someone out there. The idea that the compounds I work on today could one day save a life has always given me purpose. Outside of work, my routine is simple, even predictable. Every Sunday morning, I attend service at the First Presbyterian Church of San Francisco. It's a place I've known since childhood, though my relationship with faith has changed over the years. Sometimes, I volunteer to teach science classes for the children in the congregation. Their wide-eyed curiosity always reminds me of why I chose this career, because knowledge, when shared, can open doors that otherwise remain locked. For a long time, my life felt stable, almost peaceful, quietly fulfilling, at least until that day when everything changed. My parents live in the prestigious Presidio Heights neighborhood, where every house looks like it belongs in a magazine spread. My mother, Martha, is a former high school teacher. To most people, she appears gracious, refined, a woman who always knows the right words to say, but beneath the surface, her world revolves around appearances. She cares deeply about how others see her, especially at church, where her reputation is her crown. She always wears the latest Chanel suits, her nails immaculate, her smile polished. Appearances are everything, she often says, a phrase I've grown to quietly resent. Just the other day, at a church gathering, she proudly paraded Caroline's expensive designer handbag around as though it were her own trophy. I watched from a distance, invisible as always. My father, George, is the opposite of gracious. He runs a successful real estate company and earns more than $300,000 a year. To him, money isn't just a tool, it's power. He has an intimidating personality, sharp eyes that seem to weigh and measure everyone around him. Family members aren't exempt. His catchphrase, one I've heard more times than I can count, is, "Since I'm providing the money, it's only natural that you do as I say." It's not just words to him, it's how he controls us. His silence, when he chooses it, cuts just as deep as his words. Then there's my sister, Caroline. She lives in a Victorian house in Pacific Heights, one of the most desirable areas of the city. She constantly tells anyone who will listen about her 20,000 Instagram followers. "I'm an influencer," she insists, as if those two words alone validate her existence. Her days are consumed with taking selfies, editing them, and chasing likes. Meanwhile, her husband, Stephen, is a middle manager at an IT company. He's always working, always glued to his laptop. Between the two of them, there's little time left for their children, 8-year-old Michael and 6-year-old Emma. The children, though, they are my light. I live alone in a luxury condominium in the Marina district. It's modern, elegant, and quiet, a place where I can breathe. I've never married, and sometimes people, especially my mother, remind me of that fact with subtle jabs, but I'm content. My work fulfills me, my independence sustains me, and my joy, true joy, comes from spending time with Michael and Emma. Every weekend, it has become a tradition. I walk through the Ferry Building marketplace, choosing the freshest ingredients, planning what we'll bake together. Apple pies are their favorite. Michael loves measuring out the sugar, while Emma insists on crimping the pie crust, her little fingers always leaving uneven edges that make the pies uniquely ours. When the oven timer dings, the three of us gather around, inhaling the warm cinnamon scent that fills my apartment. Those moments, simple, unpretentious, filled with laughter, are the ones that give my life meaning. Without anyone knowing, I provide $500 every month to cover part of the children's education expenses. It's a secret I've never shared, not even with them. I also help with their studies, sitting beside them on weekends, guiding them through Khan Academy lessons. Meanwhile, my parents give Caroline's family $1,000 a month, a fact they don't hesitate to mention, but they've never offered me anything. Still, I've made peace with that. Michael is sensitive, thoughtful, and endlessly curious. He loves books. When I take him to the California Academy of Sciences, he can spend hours in front of the exhibits, absorbing every detail. Just the other day, he tugged at my sleeve and pointed to the towering dinosaur skeleton. "Aunt Jenny, this is a life-size Tyrannosaurus skeleton." His voice trembled with awe, his eyes shining brighter than any gemstone. I smiled, my heart swelling, knowing these were the moments that would shape him. Emma, in contrast, is bright and sociable, the kind of child who can walk into a room and capture everyone's attention. Yet, her mother, my sister, was too busy posing for selfies to attend Emma's ballet recital. I sat in the audience that day, clapping proudly as Emma twirled in her pink tutu, but the empty seat beside me was a wound. Emma's face, as she scanned the crowd for her mother, remains etched in my memory. Her smile faltered, and in its place was a loneliness that still pierces me. Then came the announcement of our annual Hawaii trip, a tradition I cherish. Waikiki Beach, where we build sandcastles until the waves wash them away. The Honolulu Aquarium, where Emma presses her tiny palms against the glass, mesmerized by the tropical fish. The stargazing sessions with Michael, who points out constellations with wide-eyed wonder. These trips are more than vacations. They are my treasures, memories I carry like precious jewels. This year, Caroline proposed a special family trip. The children were excited. Just yesterday, Emma called me, her voice bubbling through the phone. "Aunt Jenny, you're coming with us this year too, right? I want to build sandcastles again like last year." Her innocent words replayed in my mind long after the call ended. I smiled through the phone, even as tears stung my eyes. "Of course, sweetheart," I whispered. If only I had known then how cruelly those words would be tested. Weekday evenings became our special time together, a rhythm I grew to cherish. After finishing my own work, I would head straight to my sister's Victorian house to spend time with Michael and Emma. Their faces would light up when I arrived, as though the heaviness of the day lifted the moment I stepped inside. Homework was our first ritual. We often sat together at the big oak dining table, notebooks and pencils spread out, the glow of my laptop illuminating Khan Academy tutorials. Michael had an insatiable curiosity. He wasn't content with just solving math problems. He wanted to know why formulas worked, what they meant, how they connected to the world around him. I would sometimes explain equations by comparing them to the chemical formulas I worked on in the lab. His eyes would widen as he listened, as though he were glimpsing the secrets of the universe. Emma's evenings were different. She was musical, her slender fingers learning to dance across piano keys. After homework, she would sit at the polished piano in the living room and begin practicing. The room filled with hesitant notes at first, then gradually smoother melodies. I sat beside her, turning sheet music pages, offering encouragement when her small fingers stumbled. "Try again, sweetheart, you can do it," she always did, with determination shining in her eyes. Holidays and weekends were our time for exploration. The California Academy of Sciences became our second home. Michael could stand for an hour in front of the dinosaur exhibit, explaining facts he had memorized. "Aunt Jenny, this fossil is from the late Cretaceous period," he once declared, his voice full of authority. He was like a miniature professor, teaching me instead of the other way around. Emma, more reflective, would hold my hand quietly at the aquarium, staring at the colorful fish swimming gracefully behind the glass. She whispered one afternoon, "I wonder if these fish live in Hawaii too." Her words pierced my heart, because they were more than curiosity, they were longing. We also spent sunny afternoons at Golden Gate Park. I packed homemade sandwiches, fruit, and sometimes apple pie, and we would spread a blanket under a big oak tree. The children laughed freely there, chasing each other across the grass, their laughter mixing with the sound of the breeze. Slowly, they began opening their hearts to me in ways they never did with their parents. "Mom only smiles when taking Instagram photos," Emma admitted one afternoon, crumbs of bread still on her lips. "Dad's always on work calls. He didn't even come to my science presentation," Michael added with quiet bitterness. Those words settled like stones in my chest. I knew I had to preserve these confessions, not for myself, but for their future. I began using my smartphone's voice memo function, discreetly recording their natural conversations. I never forced them, I just let their honesty flow, capturing their small but raw truths about loneliness and neglect. I took photos too, but not the staged kind Caroline plastered across Instagram. I photographed their serious faces bent over math problems, Emma's profile lit softly by the piano lamp, Michael's eyes sparkling as he held a fossil book. These were their real expressions, unfiltered, unposed. authentic. I collected their essays as well. Emma once wrote one titled My Family, in neat, childish handwriting. She wrote, Aunt Jenny always listens to me. She always comes to my ballet recital. Even though Mom doesn't come, I can do my best because Aunt Jenny is there clapping for me. I cried quietly as I read it, then carefully stored it away. Meanwhile, my sister's Instagram told a different story. While she vacationed in Hawaii, her page filled daily with polished family photos, best family time, making wonderful memories with my beloved children. Yet behind the glowing captions, I saw Michael and Emma's hollow eyes. They looked like props in her curated world. I backed up every recording, uploaded every photo to multiple cloud accounts, and scanned every essay. The originals I locked away in my safe at home. I was preparing, though I didn't yet know for what. 3 days before my family's return, Michael knocked softly on my bedroom door. His voice trembled as he spoke. Aunt Jenny, I have something to tell you. I looked at his solemn little face, and my heart braced itself. You know, I've always wanted to say this. He paused, then whispered with startling clarity, I wish you were my real mom. Tears streamed down my cheeks before I could stop them. They weren't tears of sadness, but of confirmation, proof that the path I had silently chosen was the right one. The battle I had to fight wasn't just for me, it was for them. Sunday arrived, the day of their return. At 3:00 p.m., I stood at the arrival gate of San Francisco International Airport, holding the children's hands. The announcement for Hawaiian Airlines Flight 426 echoed through the terminal. Michael squeezed my hand tighter. Emma clung nervously to the hem of my dress. When the passengers began streaming out, my mother appeared first, draped in a new Chanel dress, oversized sunglasses perched on her face. Behind her was Caroline, smartphone already raised for selfies. My father walked stiffly, dragging a suitcase, and Stephen followed last, eyes glued to his laptop as always. Oh, children, Mommy's back, Caroline cried, running toward them with outstretched arms. But Michael and Emma didn't move. They pressed themselves closer against me. What's wrong? It's Mommy. Come here. My mother's voice was saccharine, rehearsed. I don't want to go back, Emma whispered. We want to live with Aunt Jenny, Michael said firmly, his young voice echoing in the terminal. My mother froze. Caroline lowered her phone, her smile evaporating. Father frowned, and Stephen finally looked up from his screen. Travelers slowed, sensing the strange tension. What are you saying? Caroline stammered. We're your real family, aren't we? Real family? I said quietly, but firmly. Then let's talk about what a real family is. I pulled out my phone and pressed play. Emma's small voice filled the terminal. Mom, why didn't you come to my ballet recital? Everyone else's mom was there. Then Michael's voice. Dad, I got an excellence award in science. I asked you to come see. Gasps rippled through the crowd. I began showing photos. Caroline's glamorous Instagram posts contrasted against my candid shots of the children's lonely expressions. This is the truth of what you call family. Caroline shouted. That's a lie. We're perfect. But her voice cracked. No, Michael said, stepping out from behind me. Then why don't you know my favorite food, or Emma's shoe size? Aunt Jenny remembers, Emma added softly but firmly. She knows everything about us. Father's voice broke the silence. Wait, let's talk somewhere private. This is a public place. Yes, it is public, I said, my voice steady. And maybe it's fitting. You've staged a perfect family image for the public on Instagram. Now let them see the truth. By now, dozens of strangers were recording us. The weight of exposure pressed down on my parents. My mother's painted smile had dissolved into tears. I knew then, the turning point had come.